All right, this is going to be a presentation over Latin European culture and the countries. There are 6 different countries that make up the Latin European cluster. They are France, Israel, Italy, Portugal, Spain, and Switzerland. France is a global powerhouse country that is a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. France became an independent country in 1789. Israel declared independence on May 14, 1948 from the League of Nations under the British administration. We have Italy, which is home to the Vatican, center of the Catholic Church, and the Pope. Italy declares itself on 1861, but was not officially unified until 1871. Portugal is the oldest member of these nations, originally founded in 1143. In 1640, they regained independence from 60 years of Spanish rule, and in 1910, they officially became a republic. Spain gained country status in 1492. Before this, the entire peninsula was just independent kingdoms that had not come together. And then lastly, we have Switzerland, the land of peace and neutrality. The Swiss Confederation was founded on August 1st of 1291. This cluster is made up of 6 different countries, so we will discuss the populations of people for each of these 6 countries inside the cluster. So for France, we have a population of 67 million people. Their median age is 41.5 years old with a relatively even male to female population. The national language is French. France is 66% Roman Catholic, followed by an 8% Muslim population. For school life expectancy, men spend about 15 years in school, while women spend 16. And total unemployment is 24.6%. Next is Israel, coming back with a population of 8.5 million people and just barely cracking that top 100 for the population, landing in the 98th largest. Their median age is 30.1 years old. The official language is Hebrew, but they also speak Arabic and English. Israel is 74% Jewish, 17% Muslim, and 2% Christian. They have a 97% literacy rate and a 7% unemployment rate. Now we're going to take a look at Italy. Italy has a population of 62 million people, and the median age is 45.8. The official language is Italian, however, they also speak German and French. They are 80% Christian and overwhelmingly Roman Catholic, since Italy is where the Vatican is. They have a 99% literacy rate and a 37% unemployment rate. Moving on to Portugal, we have a population of 10 million people. They actually have a negative population growth rate, and the median age is 43.7 years old. The official languages are Portuguese and Mirandese. 81% identify as Roman Catholic, and they have a 95% literacy rate with a 24% unemployment rate. The next country is Spain, and they have a population of 49 million people. The median age in Spain is 43.1, and they speak Castilian, Spanish, and Catalan. They have a 70% Roman Catholic population, 10% atheists, and 15% identify as non-believers. On average, they spend 18 years in school, and they have a 98% literacy rate. The unemployment is at 38%. Lastly, we have Switzerland coming in with a population of 8.2 million. They are the smallest of the countries in the Latin European cluster. The Swiss have a median age of 42.5 years old. They speak German, or what is known as Swiss German, French, and Italian are all as official languages of their country. They are 63% Roman Catholic and 24% Protestant. Total unemployment is 8%, and they spend an average of 16 years in school. So for government, we have France, and officially it's the French Republic, and they have a semi-presidential republic. They have 3 branches of government. Their executive branch is overseen by the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, and Prime Minister Edouard Philippe. The President is in office for 5 years and is eligible for 2 terms. The nation's symbol is a Gaelic rooster, and the national colors are red, white, and blue. The state of Israel is a parliamentary democracy, and they have no formal constitution. Their chief of state is President Reuven Rivlin, and the head of government is their Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The president is indirectly elected for a 7-year term. The president is voted upon by their legislative branch. Their national symbol is the Star of David and the menorah, and the national colors are blue and white. The national anthem is called a Hatikva, and stands for The Hope. Italy is a parliamentary republic. The chief of state is President Sergio Mattarella, and the head of government is Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte. The president is elected by an electoral college that is made up of houses of parliament and regional representatives. They are elected for 7-year terms, and they have no term limits. The national symbol is a 5-point star, and the national colors are red, white, and green. Portugal has a semi-presidential republic. The chief of state is President Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa, and the head of the government is the Prime Minister Antonio Luis Santos de Costa. The president is elected directly by a popular vote for 5-year terms, and they are eligible for 2nd terms. The national symbol is an armillary sphere. The national colors are red and green. Spain is a parliamentary constitutional monarchy. Chief of state is King Philippe, and the heir to the throne will be Princess Leonor. With a monarchy, the power is kept in the blood, and therefore there is no need for elections for the head of state. The national symbol is the Pillars of Hercules, and the national colors are red and yellow. Lastly, we have Switzerland, which is a federal republic. The current chief of state is President Uli Mohr. The president is elected by the Federal Assembly from the Federal Council and serves a one-year term. The national symbol is the Swiss cross. The national colors are red and white. France uses the euro, which is worth more than the US dollar. France is the most visited country in the world with 89 million tourists in 2017, which brings in a lot of money. They have an inflation rate of 1.2%, and 14% of the citizens live below the poverty line. In 2017, their GDP per capita was $44,100. Israel operates in a free market economy. They are technologically advanced, and they have high dollar goods as their leading exports, such as diamonds and advanced technologies. Their GDP per capita was $36,400 for 2017, and 22% of their population lives below the poverty line. Their current inflation rate is at just 0.2%, and their currency is an Israeli shekel, and the exchange rate would be 3.6 Israeli shekels for $1 US. The GDP per capita for Italy was $38,200 in 2017. They use the euro in Italy, which once again has a greater value than the US dollar. They have 29.9% of their population under the poverty line and an inflation rate of 1.3%. The concern with Italy is that it has a large amount of public debt despite being a large economy. The CIA fact book listed the public debt at 131% for the GDP in 2017. Portugal only recently joined the European Committee and the Economic Monetary Union. Upon joining in 1999, they soon began to circulate the euro as well. In 2002, they have a center-left minority socialist government. The GDP per capita for 2017 was $30,500, and their focus is a service-based economy. Portugal has 19% of its population living below the poverty line and 1.6 inflation rate. Spain is in a fiscal crisis in 2008, and only in the last few years have they started to see recovery. Much of this is due to their strong growth export. Its per capita GDP for 2017 was $38,400, and they have a 21% population living below the poverty line. Their inflation rates are 2%, and Spain also uses a euro. Switzerland is a modern market economy with a highly skilled labor force. They have a GDP per capita of $62,100 as of 2017. Their inflation rate has gone up from 2016 to 2017 from a negative 0.4 to a positive 0.5. They use the Swiss francs, which are slightly higher than a dollar. A US dollar is only worth 0.99 of a Swiss franc. The value went up during the European financial crisis that left people looking for safe haven types of currency that were not plummeting in value. They have a 6.6% of their population below the poverty line. Israel is becoming a hot spot for drug abuse and money laundering. They have an increase in ecstasy, cocaine, and heroin problems coming from Lebanon and Jordan. Portugal is also having a drug problem, being a European gateway for drug shipments, specifically Southwest Asian heroin. Italy is developing an illegal immigration issue, having their unsecured coastline exposed to thousands of Southeastern European immigrants and Northern African immigrants. This would be especially bad because the number of refugees they've already taken in reaches into the 100,000s. In 2002, Gibraltar voted to separate from Spain and become autonomous. They wanted to be included in the conversations between Spain and the UK, but Spain did not want to give them any more autonomy. Gibraltar is a UK territory located inside of Spain after separating from Spain, and in 2016, after Brexit, Spain once again requested to share sovereignty over the territory, which was denied. The Latin European cluster scored more individualism over collectivism, meaning that they believe that it is based on an individual. Individualists look after themselves, and they think about the I over the we. Small power distance means that they want a large middle class and a centered government that takes care of its people. All the people really have equal rights, and there would be little income disparity. Strong uncertainty avoidance means high stress and anxiety, strict rules for children, and possibly too much aggression and emotion. They have an emotional need to be busy, and time is money mentality. They feel the unknown is dangerous. With strong uncertainty avoidance, you could have issues with nationalism, xenophobia, repression of minorities, and it is also a masculine society where men are dominant and in charge, and they hold more positions of power. The society has a performance ideal where maintenance of economic growth has the highest priority. The Latin European cluster ranks that charismatic and value-based leadership has the largest impact in being a successful leader. This is followed by team-oriented leadership and participative leadership. From the graphic, we can see that all 6 categories do fall close to each other. The top 3 are only ranked between a contribute slightly and contribute somewhat ranking on the thing. Most charismatic attributes of Latin Europe are realistic vision, high performance orientation, integrity, decisiveness, Because autonomous and self-protective leadership ranked low, you can interpret that these countries do not like selfish and self-centered leaders. They prefer team-oriented leaders who create teams to accomplish goals and that are personable.